you post something online on a certain website or a blog, a discussion, filling that with very negative terms, maybe putting some embarrassing pictures on there. That's a form of cyberbullying. You're following someone online, you're saying things to them, you're sending them pictures of, let's say, their house, which shows that you are out there taking pictures of their house. Usually that's what cyber stalking is. If someone sends pictures to you, let's say naked images or something like that, and if it's an underage child, under the age of 18, that's child pornography.
I'm Mike Waller, Lake County State's Attorney. Computer-related crimes involving victims of identity theft, internet harassment, computer fraud, and sexual predators are increasing in Lake County and all over the country. Generally, these types of crime are referred to as cybercrime. For the last 15 years or so, we've seen a steady rise in crimes involving the use of the internet, computers, and cell phones. In the year 2000, it became clear to me that there was a need to establish a specialized unit in Lake County to investigate cybercrime. In 2000, I established the Lake County State's Attorney's Cybercrime Unit. The first priority after the unit was established was to send the attorneys and investigators to specialized training so that they could effectively investigate cybercrime. We also identified and acquired specialized equipment to both assist us in finding evidence located in computers and cell phones, and that would preserve the evidence so that it could be properly presented in court. From the outset, our cybercrime unit was assigned many cases involving the whole gamut of cybercrime. Over the past decade, our investigators have attended numerous schools and seminars that have specially trained them to successfully investigate the most complicated cases. And over the past decade, we have acquired state-of-the-art equipment to assist us in our investigations. In partnership with the Waukegan Police Department, we established a cyber forensic lab that allows investigators from both our agencies to work in a secure environment equipped with the latest forensic computer equipment. This commitment from my office to deal with cybercrime proactively has resulted in a successful team comprised of assistant state's attorneys, investigators, and forensic analysts. This team has become expert in using these new forensic tools to catch criminals who use electronic technology to commit their crimes. Listen to what they've learned and learn how to protect your families from these cyber criminals.
My name is Mary Stanton, and I'm the Chief of the Cyber Crimes Division for the Lake County State's Attorney's Office. As a part of our investigations, we're doing search warrants for computers, search warrants for email accounts, and sometimes search warrants of cell phones. And I'm involved in the investigative process. As technology has just grown so much over the last 10-15 years, we find that criminal defendants are using the same technology that everyone else is using, and they're using it to commit crimes. And we find that sometimes they're committing these crimes, especially theft-related crimes, by going online and using some of those technologies to steal from others. But we also find that evidence that in the past maybe people would have kept in file cabinets, that sort of thing, they're now keeping that type of evidence within their computer hard drives.
My name is Mark Pleasant, and I'm a special investigator with the Lake County State's Attorney's Office, and I'm assigned and have been assigned to the Lake County Children's Advocacy Center since April of 1988. When I first got involved in this, we didn't have computers. I typed reports on a word processor and a typewriter, so in the early days, we didn't have to concern ourselves with computer technology on a day-to-day basis. The entire landscape of law enforcement has changed with computer technology, and that has allowed sex offenders to crawl out from behind bushes and into people's homes. And of course, law enforcement had to respond to that in a variety of ways. At one point, I was involved in the proactive undercover online investigations, wherein I would pose online as an underage female, and at times my partner would pose online as an underage male and would work investigations in an undercover capacity. And then part two, or category two, that being the reactive investigations, has to do with a case where there is an actual report of a crime made by someone wherein computer technology might be involved. That might be an online solicitation involving a real child, or an alleged meeting between a sex offender and a real child. And then I would also be involved in the follow-up investigation into that.
My name is Dean Karish, and I am the criminal investigator in the Cybercrimes Division of the Lake County State's Attorney's Office. I'll be the guy that performs the forensics on the computer, and if we don't make an arrest that night, a couple of weeks down the road, maybe a month down the road, once I gather all the evidence we need, our office will be the one to obtain an arrest warrant and go get the person.
The essential components would be the interviewing the alleged victim, interviewing any potential witnesses, interviewing the alleged suspect or offender, gathering any relevant evidence, information that might be related to the situation. Whatever it takes to get to the truth.
If there's specific evidence that we need from a suspect or a victim or a witness, some local law enforcement may not know the right questions to ask because it's so technical in nature. And for example, if there's something I need to know about a suspect's computer or his user profile, his logon, certain passwords, search terms that he may use when he's on the internet, those are things I'll need to be the one to sit there and ask him. Well, right now we are in the Lake County Cyber Lab. This is the secured place where we'll bring in all evidence, whether it's cell phones or computers. We do all of our work here. We process evidence, any kind of data. So if we're looking for text messages from cell phones, we're looking for email evidence. For example, if somebody was getting harassing emails and we're trying to track down what those messages were, we'll bring the victim's computer in here, we'll take the hard drive, and we'll use our tools here, forensic computers, and we will try to find that evidence so we can proceed with the case. All the digital evidence, cell phones, cameras, computers, they always stay here in our lab. It's a locked facility. It's here at the police department. Nobody can get in unless you have a key, and there's only a couple of us that can actually do that. So it preserves the evidence for any trial in the future.
Once it became clear that this type of evidence was going to be needed to be offered into court, our office realized that we needed to become not only aware of what the technological advances are, but how to present that evidence in court. The laws that we had in the past still continue to apply to these type of issues. It's just that we find that attorneys, once they're presented with this type of evidence, it's so new to them, they don't know how to present it in the courtroom. And so there's special training that's needed for attorneys so that they know how to handle these issues when they come up in court. The other thing that we're finding is that there's a whole world of new law that's being created to handle these situations as they come up. I think that a lot of people are familiar with Fourth Amendment search and seizure issues as they come up. Well, the basic laws that we had in the past still apply, but now we're having to expand the law so that it can handle these new situations. And as technology changes on a day-to-day basis, so does the law. The criminals are just finding many, many new ways to commit crimes. We now find that some criminals are using credit card skimmers, which again use the same type of technology to steal, for example, credit card numbers, and they're being used in new and different ways, again using cyber technology to go out and commit these crimes.
When we were younger, we were bullied on the playground after school. But now a lot of the bullying is going on, and you don't know who's doing it. They're anonymous people. These kids are getting text messages through cell phones, anonymous emails. Really nasty things are being said. So, when we have a parent who calls us up and they have a cell phone or a computer and they show us the messages, the parent is so upset, the child's so upset. So it's very important to us to try to determine who's sending these messages, whether it's another teen, whether it's a joke, but it's important to find out who's doing it. We try to get out there to the schools and talk to middle schools, high schools. We talk to parents groups. private organizations, we just try to get the word out there about the dangers of the internet, the dangers of social networking sites. And really, I think the most important one is the one to parents, because parents are at a loss on how to deal with their kids when it comes to watching them online and watching them, their behavior on cell phones, which are like little mini computers, basically. So we do a lot of that. That's one of the things that we do more and more of.
The fact that sometimes I think that victims throughout the country feel like, what can I do when we have people who are computer masterminds hacking into accounts and stealing my money, and they feel very helpless. It's nice, I think, for them to understand that there's an office that is committed to using the resources available to solve these crimes and find the offenders and bring them to justice, and then being able to work with them so that they can see that they're not just another person, a faceless person who's being victimized, but that they can actually go through the criminal justice system and achieve some satisfaction knowing that somebody's not going to get away with the crime.
It's an absolute honor to work with children and families whose lives have been affected by the human tragedy of abuse.
As you have seen, all of our training and experience has allowed us to locate and preserve electronic evidence to successfully prosecute cybercrime. Deleted evidence, once thought to be gone for good, can now be recovered and used in the prosecution of cases involving identity theft, cyberstalking, child pornography, child sexual abuse, and other serious cases involving computer crimes and the internet. You don't have to be a computer expert to protect yourself and your family from becoming a victim of cybercrime. There are some very simple internet and computer rules to follow that can increase your security at home and on the cell phone. Talk to children and teens about never sending or forwarding embarrassing images on cell phones or the internet. Make sure all your family members know how to block unknown users when using their cell phone and the computer. Always think twice about what you say online and what pictures you post, because once you post something online, it can actually remain in cyberspace forever. Restrict posting personal information on websites such as Facebook and MySpace. Never give your internet email passwords to anyone. Never give out any of your personal or financial information to unknown people who send you such requests by email. For more information, contact the Lake County State's Attorney's Office.